Thank you, Dr. Martell, and thank you, Chairman Haney. Special thank you to Chairman Haney. He's led the faith community through our local working team to open up, and just appreciate your support of the faith community. So last week we outlined an ambitious goal to open up houses of worship, to open up with a limited capacity indoor dining, and to open up childcare. One thing I'm getting continually reminded to myself every day throughout this COVID crisis is information and guidance from the state comes rapidly and often and incredibly unfortunately at the last minute, not just to our business owners, our members of the faith community, or to parents looking for childcare for their kids, but to local governments as well. I don't own a local business here in the Rockford community, but I can only imagine through the number of phone calls I've had with local establishments how frustrating the nature of the chaotic nature, as the chairman mentioned it, of information flowing must be. If you are a small business, you are wondering how many people do you hire, you're wondering how much food do you purchase, you're wondering what are the requirements, is it 6 feet or 8 feet, tables need to be apart, and what does all this mean, and how are you going to wade through these really uncharted waters with little direction. I can tell you, which will provide you no solace, is we all share your frustration with getting information rapidly and unfortunately at the last minute. As Dr. Martell stated just last Thursday, the governor outlined an expanded Phase 3 plan, which by and large provided us all the items that we advocated for, except for one unfortunate item that was left out, which we wanted was the indoor dining for our restaurants at a limited capacity. Then just Sunday, late Sunday, which I'm sure all of our staffs really enjoyed, and I say that tongue in cheek, just this past Sunday, the state came out with all of the guidelines for all of these businesses. And so as Dr. Martell and her team comb through them, we at the city have our staff, our community and economic development departments combing through them, our legal departments combing through them, public works departments combing through them, to ensure that we can continue to move our community forward. With all, again, with all of the advocating that we've done, I think we are all, for the most part, pretty pleased with the number of items that were included in Phase 3, the required guidelines put forward in Phase 3. But still disappointed. I got to give a tremendous shout out to Todd Marshall from the Winnebago County Health Department, and specifically to all of the businesses and restaurants and bar owners who have been tremendously flexible, professional, and creative as they look at the rapidly moving information. I just want to say I just can't imagine the stress that they're under and their ability to work collaboratively and creatively with the city, with the health department, with the county, all while following the state's required guidelines is really impressive. For the city, we will certainly be by their side through these difficult times. We, again, will reiterate that we're waiving any of the outdoor seating permits so that we can enhance their seating options. We will allow temporary outdoor seating in parking lots, sidewalks, and alleys. We are suspending the liquor license approval process for existing liquor license holders so that they can either expand or create this outdoor seating. And we will also, upon the governor's signature, allow cocktails to go. Which I think most elected officials, I rarely will speak on behalf of all elected officials, but I think the vast majority of us wish they had cocktails to go for the last 74 days. But I want to reiterate to these small businesses, we have a team ready to review your application. We have simplified our outdoor seating application. It's now posted on the city's website. We've reviewed it. Our legal teams reviewed it. It's now on a City of Rockford's website at rockfordil.gov. We will also, if you want to submit your plan, the fastest way to submit your outdoor seating plan, which again doesn't cost you money, but we just need to review it, you can submit that plan at business first at rockfordil.gov. That's business first at rockfordil.gov. That's also where you can inquire about our microenterprise loan pool for businesses that have 0 to 5 employees. Last thing I'll just touch on briefly is as we enter this phase 3, we got here through collective work. We got here through everyone being in this together. We got here through wearing face coverings, by washing our hands, by avoiding large crowds, by social distancing. And I would just say now is not the time to slow down on our efforts or to give way of these important efforts. These efforts are the very reason why we have started to see the slowing of the spread of COVID. So we need to double down on those efforts as a community. I am pleased that we are beginning to open so many segments of our economy, especially also for those local retailers. We've heard from numerous local retailers the difficult time that they've had, and quite honestly, at times, the lack of common sense some of these executive orders have had in them, that you can shop at a large box store, but you can't shop at a local retail store. I would just urge folks and citizens, please think locally when you are buying your products and your goods and services. Your dollar will go so much farther and stay in our community so much longer if you purchase locally and support local families who own those businesses. Last thing is we continue to flatten the curve and slow the spread. We still need to be vigilant. We still need to wash our hands, wear our face coverings, wash the surfaces, as Dr. Martell said, that we use frequently. Because we got here together, let's continue to be in this, all of us together, so that phase 3 lasts 4 weeks, and we can quickly and rapidly move to phase 4. So with that, we will take questions.
Mayor McNamara, so you mentioned that worship, limited indoor dining, and then childcare were the 3 things.
Will you repeat that?
Yes. Houses of worship, limited indoor dining, and childcare. Those are the 3 things that the city was advocating for. Is that correct?
Yes, so with this, I think all of us were advocating for limited indoor dining. We were advocating for opening up places of worship for all faiths, and we were advocating for childcare.
And then you mentioned that there were some things that were excluded, or that the governor didn't include.
Yeah, so
what were some of those?
I think the biggest one, thank you. The question is, which of those items that we advocated for were excluded? I think the biggest one to most Rockfordians, and certainly to the restaurant owners, was unfortunately the indoor dining. It looks like the Illinois Restaurant Association came up with a compromise with the governor's office to allow outdoor dining as opposed to indoor dining for most establishments.
So as far so Rockfordians should be prepared that Dr. Martell, you were saying, health and fitness, offices, salons, retails, outdoor recreation, day camps, restaurants and bars, all of those will be open to some capacity on Friday.